So what defines a monster? What defines a hero? Is it their actions, their intentions, or something else entirely? A hero is an individual who displays exceptional courage, selflessness, and determination, often inspiring others through their actions and sacrifices. But what does it mean when someone is called a monster? We all know the general meaning, but the word could be interpreted differently in Japanese culture. In Japanese culture, monster is often used metaphorically for people who display exceptional or monstrous qualities, both positively and negatively. In a positive context, it refers to exceptional abilities or dedication in a specific era. In a negative context, it describes individuals with cruel or morally objectionable behaviors. For example, someone like Hinata and Eren Yeager could be both labeled as monsters. Now that we have the definitions right, let's figure out what type of person is Yuta Okkotsu. Not that it's a surprise, but we need to remember that Yuta was not a mentally healthy person. He definitely had depression, anxiety, and even suicidal thoughts. He felt guilty and shameful, so he wanted to die alone in a hole or something. But somebody pulled him out of that space, someone who really cared about the youth.
全てを投げ出すのはそれからでも遅くはないだろう。
It's not like it'll be too late to cast everything away after that. In the recent chapters, he took over Gojo's body, fully aware that he might die, but he didn't mind as long as he wasn't harming anyone he cared about. As long as he's not causing harm to any innocent lives, he's willing to sacrifice himself without hesitation. Unfortunately, for a person with depression, it can feel unacceptable to live without feeling valued. And I think part of the reason he's always willing to sacrifice himself stems from that.
親友だよ。たった一人のね。
I believe you pay attention to the people you love, to their pain, and to what matters to them. Yuta has done the same thing here. I mean, look at him listening to Gojo talk about Geto. He understood Gojo's pain and saw how isolated he felt. The people who believe Yuji was the only one who cared for Gojo forget how Yuta went to end Kinjaku because he didn't want Gojo to bear the pain of killing his best friend again. Do they forget how Yuta reached out to him and said, "Let me take the burden with you"? I love Yuji, but I don't think he understood Gojo to that extent. And everything Yuta has done is because he wants to save his loved ones. In my opinion, Yuta has always been morally ambiguous, because if you listen to this conversation, he's actually contemplating whether Geto is right or not, but he dismisses the idea because he's concerned about the safety of his friends. His friends and the people he loves are his reason to live, and he would sacrifice anything to save them. That's when things can get a little complicated. Some of the things he does can be considered heroic, but they can also stem from a selfish and dark place. For example, he took over Gojo's body to save others. While morally questionable, he did seek Gojo's permission and is willing to sacrifice himself in the process, which could be seen as a heroic act. If we consider the definition of the word hero, he does indeed act in the best interest of his loved ones, making him more of a hero who is capable of making difficult choices that may blur moral lines and push him towards becoming a monster when necessary.